Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's recording we are going to be doing a dive into SAP Joule, SAP's digital co-pilot. In the use case that we are going to have today is, and you might say, well, why is he showing me an SAP S/4HANA Cloud screen if we're talking about Joule? So the scenario that we're going to have is the one where I play the part of a person responsible for managing a pool of company vehicles, and of course, being green line conscious, we are transitioning to exclusively having a fleet of electric vehicles. And as you can see, the details that I have to maintain for each one of these vehicles is some typical information that one would expect, such as the registration number, the employee to whom the vehicle is assigned to, the insurer, the insurance policy, the insurance expiry date, the car brand. And if I delve into the details of one such record, we can see that we also have the model name, we have the drive. And of course, you can imagine that if I have a pool of 1,000 vehicles, having to maintain all of these technical details on each one of these cars, such as the Nissan, such as in this case the car brand, or some technical details such as the drive, the power, the battery capacity, and so on and so forth, or the model name, it could be quite tedious and put a dent in my productivity if I had to do copy pastes from a website or some Excel spreadsheet into my company car register. So what we are going to do to make my life easier is that we have teamed up with the provider of our company vehicles, which is a brand agnostic company that provide us a number of EV electric vehicles. And they also provide, as you can see here, a website where they have all of these technical details. And what we are going to be doing today is we will be using Joule to, via API, connect to this website, retrieve the details of the vehicle that I am interested in, and then help me to update or create a new record for a new employee that we have, for example, onboarded into the organization. But I'll also show you some of the other tweaks that I could be using Joule for to make my life easier and help me gain back a few precious minutes every day of productivity to do more added value tasks. So let's start off with something somewhat easy. So I'm just going to quickly refresh my browser window. As you can see here, I'm using a full screen Joule browser window, which is obviously something that you can do yourselves as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try and interact with my custom business object that is in SAP S/4HANA Cloud. And I'm going to say to Joule, can you retrieve me the company car details? So at this point, Joule is communicating with my SAP S/4HANA Cloud system. It's asking to retrieve some company car vehicles, which are the ones that I showed you a moment ago. Now, I can, of course, click on each one of these records that show up here to get some more details being presented here on the right-hand side. But what I can also do from here is I can leverage a navigational capability. So if I click on View Record, this is actually going to take me into my SAP S/4HANA Cloud system and take me right into the record that I selected in Joule. Now here, of course, I can quickly cite the information that I'm looking for. I could also edit the record if that is what I wanted to do, or even delete it if that is what I wanted to do. But just to show you the navigational possibility that we have here. Now, also some other things that one could quickly do here to query via Joule. I have my manager who's saying, how many cars do we have in the pool today? Well, I could quickly fire up my S/4HANA Cloud system, or I can again use Joule to quickly get that information. And Joule says to me, well, there are 14 cars in the company register. Let's have a quick check and let's go back. and I can see indeed that I do have 14 cars. Let's click on go just to make sure that we are still on 14. Yes, we are still on 14 cars in the company pool. Now here we are now going to also get some details where somebody is asking me, well, how many cars do we have by brand? Because maybe somebody's wanting to renegotiate contracts. And obviously, if we're able to say that we have X number of cars for this brand, maybe it gives us some purchasing power. So here we have the detail. It's telling us that we have 6 Fords, 5 Renaults, 2 Nissans, 1 Tesla, and 1 Chevrolet, which totals 14, which is also what we have in the pool of cars. Now, I am also, as the person that is responsible for these cars, wanting to stay on top of their serviceability, their insurance. So I just now want to quickly check, well, what are the cars that have an insurance policy that is going to expire next month, so that I can renew those insurance policies. So here I am saying, show me how many cars we have that have by brand, that is a policy that is going to expire in the year 2025, in the month of December, and I want that detail by insurer. So again, Joule is communicating with my S/4HANA Cloud backend, and it's telling me that we have 5 cars with the insurer called Multi Insurance Corporation, and we have 6 with Sun Life Insurance. Now, I might want to have a little bit more detail, right? I mean, I've got a high level number, that's great, but I want to have some more details. And also, I'm a bit of a bean counter, so I'm kind of used to my Excel format, and I'm going to say, show me in tabular form. So I want to see, it kind of sets the scene for how I want the data to be presented for the insurer, Sun Life Insurance, the vehicle registration, the car model, and policy expiry date for those cars. And here we are going to have the details. So again, Joule is now giving me the information that I asked for, and it's also keeping track of that thread. So insurance policy expiring 2025, December, and it's giving me in tabular form, the way I asked for it, the data that I wanted. This is great. So already at this point, I could, if I wanted to, just do a quick copy paste into my Excel spreadsheet, put that into an email, do whatever I want to do with that information. Now, again, I want Joule to help me be a little bit more productive. So I'm about to renew the insurance policy for all of these cars that we see here, but I also want to ask the insurer, Sun Life Insurance, to be cognizant of the fact that we are a good customer, and I'm going to be looking for a better deal. So, and also, I want to give Joule the opportunity to be my wordsmith, if you like, and I'm going to ask Joule to draft an email for me with all of these details. So again, I've got my little prompt that I've pre-prepared, and here I'm saying I want to renew the insurance policy of these vehicles with more competitive terms. So I'm setting the scene for what I want, and I'm asking Joule to draft me an email to the insurance company asking for better terms. I'm asking it to use the information that is on record and to sign the email with my details. Now note that I haven't said, here is my name. It knows who I am because I signed on to it. And as you know, we have IAS as the backbone for the authentication of the user. So all of those details are also known by Joule. So here I'm going to say go ahead. So once again, Joule is going to recap all of this information, and it is preparing this email for me. So you can see here, it's got the subject. It says, dear insurance company representative. Now, obviously, it doesn't know who that person is. So that is something that I'm going to need to change in the final email. But it's quite polite. It kind of sets the scene for what I want to do. We're going to be renewing the policy of these cars. I provide the details of which vehicles it is that I'm talking about. And then you can also see here, it kind of addresses my request, which was to kind of set the scene for me wanting to get some better terms on the next renewal. And as I told you, I also asked Joule to sign the email with my details, which it knows who I am, so it has collected those details and signed the email as I asked for me. So again, I could do a copy paste, I could fine tune this email, but most of the work has been done for me. Again, want to highlight the fact that I'm getting quite a bit of productivity gains from using this scenario. So now I want to switch gears a little bit, and I've just been informed that we have a new employee that is going to be joining the company. That person is going to be a traveling salesman, and as per company policy, they have a right to have an EV vehicle, and it has been decided that they were going to get a Tesla, for example. So here I am going to now use Joule to still, from the comfort of Joule, use it to connect to my motor vehicle supplier, which I mentioned a little bit earlier on, and get the details of the cars that I'm after that way. So here I'm going to say, okay, let's move on. Great. Positive reinforcement. Thank you, Joule. Now I want to switch gears and also note that with the words that I'm using, Joule is going to be able to detect that I'm switching to a different scenario. Here I was using words like company car, company register, so it understood that it needed to fetch the information from my S/4HANA Cloud system. Now here I'm using, again, different keywords, EV car details, brand. So it's going to understand intelligently that I now want to liaise with my motor vehicle supplier. So here it's going to do a first interpretation of my request, and it says, well, okay, I'm happy to give you the details for an EV brand, but what is the brand that you are looking for? So here I'm just going to be very direct, and I'm going to say I'm looking for the brand Tesla. What vehicles do we have? So it's liaising with that supplier, and as you can see, it's pulling in some details. So I've got even a nice little picture. I can go through the various vehicles, and we will say, for example, that I've been advised that the vehicle that will be given to this particular employee is a Tesla Roadster. So I'm going to now say, can you retrieve the details of the car model, and I'm just going to paste in Tesla Roadster. So hopefully now it's going to understand that I just want to delve into that very specific model, the Tesla Roadster, which it has been able to do, and it is again fetching me some information, but that is specific to this vehicle that I'm interested in, which is the Tesla Roadster. And as you can see, it is getting some details such as the drive, the year it was introduced, the power, the range, and so on and so forth, which are all details that come from my motor vehicle supplier. But you can imagine that if I had to insert all of this information one by one into my own company register, it would be really tedious to do. So I'm now going to tell Joule that that's the car that I want to use as a basis for creating a new vehicle in my company car register. So I'm just going to say, I want to create a new company car record on the basis of this electric vehicle for which you have the brand, which is Tesla, the model, which is Roadster, and the drive, which is all-wheel drive. What other details do you need in order to create a new record? And again, Joule is going to understand that now I want to create something new in the company car register. And here it tells me, well, I need the vehicle registration number, the employee, the insurance policy details, purchase date, ownership type, location, branch, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the details that you would need to enter. I don't necessarily need to enter all of that information, but what I'm going to give to it is I'm going to say, so here are the details. And so I'm going to say number 1, the vehicle registration is going to be XXP 987, for example. Then I'm going to say number 2, and again note that Joule will be able to understand that this is the details that I'm referring to. So 1 is the vehicle registration number, 2 is the assigned employee, and so on and so forth. The assigned employee, we will say, is, well, let's make it myself, Pascal Rene. So insurance policy details. So here I will, now I'm going to be very specific, and I'm going to say insurance policy is going to be, let's say INS 987 some other number. I'm also going to say that the policy, so the insurer, sorry, which is also important, I'm going to say the insurer is going to be SLF. I will also tell it that the expiry date of this new policy for this new vehicle is going to be 3rd of November 2026. And also, I just want to make sure that Joule understands everything that I've asked. So I'm going to say to it, before you actually create the record, summarize the information that you will use to create the record so I can confirm that it is correct. So let's go ahead and click Go so that Joule can interpret the information, and it says, okay, here's the summary. So again, it's picking up the brand, the model, and the drive from my query to the motor vehicle supplier. It's correctly understanding the registration number, the employee to whom the car is assigned to, the policy number, the insurer, and the policy expiry date. Is this correct? So here I'm just going to say, I confirm this is correct. And again, I send this to Joule, and if all goes well, Joule now is communicating with my S/4HANA Cloud system, and it is saying car registration request, car registration record has been created for the vehicle XXP 987. So what I can now do is I can also navigate to my S/4HANA Cloud system to view how that vehicle has been created in the backend. So let's go to the record. So we have the policy, 3rd of November 2026, the insurer Sun Life, the employee, which is myself, the registration number XXP987, the model, the drive. These are all the details that it picked up from the API from my motor vehicle provider, as well as the details that I had actually provided to it. So if we now also refresh our car register and click on Go, we should now have 15, there we go, because we've added this additional vehicle to our motor pool. So there you go. This was a really simple no-code example that was built using SAP Build and custom Joule skills. So if anyone is going to be interested in the technical details of what we did in BTP, what we did in Build, how we put the Joule skill together, how we set up the API to that provider together, just like the video, put your comments, and if there is enough interest, then I'll put a blog to let you guys know how this was put together. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and again, just wanted to really highlight how easy it is to make Joule work for you, extend it beyond the standard capabilities that SAP offers out of the box. I'm looking forward to hearing all of your experiences and blogs using Joule. Till next time, see you soon.